some technical difficulties there. We were having way too much fun over here, so we're going to bring you back to this wonderful live stream. We're here at the New York Hall of Science, right behind the scenes with World Maker Faire New York. You are seeing it be set up right behind us. I'm Camp Director Paloma.
I'm still Camp Director Burke.
Thanks, Burke. So, Burke, what are we doing here? What are we going to see today? What's going on?
Well, we have actually quite a few guests here today. If we're going to want to go over to see the Hazley Bulldogs right now, have the kids come up and we can talk to them about what they do.
Right behind us, we've got these kids, so let's check them out.
Let's head on over. Hey there, everybody. How's it going? All right, so why don't you tell all the folks out there, what do you do?
All right, so we're in SEP, so that's Software Engineering Pilot Program. We're like the first people to really have this opportunity to have this learning curriculum. We do a lot of stuff. We do Scratch, we do Wix, we do a little bit of Arduino. Some of us work on different movie editors. We do popcorn. So we're like the nerdiest of the nerd.
You're basically, there are people. They're with us. You guys are definitely with us on that. Now, what is some of the projects that you do month to month, week in and out? Like, what's one of your most recent projects?
One of my most recent projects is actually, I would have to say the Scratch project that I did over the summer at Museum of the Moving Image Camp. It was really fun. You just get to, for a week, you get to a group of people, random people, and you just meet up and create a video game.
That sounds fantastic. Well, as an accomplished maker, what is your favorite thing about making?
Well, mostly, I create a lot of video games. I'm into that. So the best part for me is when, I finally see, the joy on people's faces playing my game. That's the best feeling.
It's a really rewarding feeling.
It really is.
Gets you absolutely excited. Gets you up in the morning, right?
It does. It does.
That's great. That's quite fantastic. What do you think about that, Paloma?
I absolutely love it. And you were talking earlier about something called SEP. Can you tell us what that is and what it stands for?
That is the Software Engineering Pilot Program. So we do different things than a normal computer class would do.
Great. I love that you're so outspoken. You could take over our jobs any day.
Oh, he's in training.
Yeah. He's a Maker Camp host in training. So, and I know all of you are working on amazing projects. So I want to talk with some of you about what you're working on. So can you tell me what you're working on?
I am working on a popcorn maker, and that is made by the company Mozilla, and they make this very cool stuff like X-ray vision goggles. Basically what that is, you use it to hack into websites, and once you activate it, you can drag into the website, you can hack into it, edit the website, news articles. One time I edited the New York Times article, and Popcorn Maker, I made movies, a slideshow of the summer SEP, and I added music from Need for Speed, The Prodigy, You'll Be Under My Wheels, that's the name of the song. And it's a slideshow of all the pictures that we did. It's a 4-minute slideshow. So I hope you enjoy it if you ever go onto Popcorn Maker.
I'll definitely check it out. Sounds like so much fun. I love that we have young hackers as well. So speaking of young people, we are going to go ahead and check out. We've got Ananya, and we're going to check out your hand. I'm so bad with names. I'm so sorry. So let me tell you. So why don't you bring over here the hand that you've got and tell us what this is, because all of the campers know that I am a total nerd. I am a special nerd for robots and robotic prosthetics. So can you tell the people your actual name, because I'm terrible at it, and tell them what you made.
Okay, my name is Ananya Cletus. I'm 17-year-old. So basically this is a robotic prosthetic hand that I made for leprosy victims, namely people in India who can't really afford modern prosthetics. It's based off of a 3D printed hand using in-move CAD files, which is connected to servos and a glove with flex sensors. So basically the user would be able to do something with their hand, and the robotic hand would basically mimic that, allowing them to use both limbs.
Great. And so when you move the hand, it actually moves it. So it's sort of a master-slave kind of a relationship. Is the ratio 1-to-1? So as it moves the exact same amount? Okay, great. So how did you get the idea for something like this? And what actually helped you get through the challenges that are brought up in working with something that's as complicated with replicating human movement?
Well, I mean, I will admit this was definitely a tough challenge. I think the idea first came to me when I was in India. We go there every summer whenever to visit my grandparents, and we end up doing a lot of charity work there, volunteer work, and I was really interested in a lot of prosthetics there, available there. And I noticed that for something like leprosy, it's incredibly hard for people to get medical care, because in addition to being just a disease and illness on its own, there's also this social stigma associated with it. So it makes it incredibly hard for people suffering from leprosy to get access to medicine care or even something like a prosthetic, which a lot of people take for granted.
Yeah, that's really noble of you to do something that's helped so many people, and I'm sure you learned so much while you were doing it. Was there anything that surprised you in the process that you didn't expect when you were making this?
I think I sort of surprised myself just in the process, because I come from a family of artists, so I'm sort of the only geek in the family. So it definitely, there were a lot of challenges with the programming, the wiring, because a lot of it I had to teach myself, because everybody else didn't really know too much about this. So I think I sort of surprised myself by managing to finally finish the project, pull it off, and I'm really looking forward to further iterations of design and creating more and more prosthetics.
Well, I can't see it. And can you tell us, for anybody joining us at Maker Faire, where they can see you if they want to learn more and talk with you about your project?
Okay, well, I'm going to be in Zone 3, the Young Maker section. I was also featured at the White House Science Fair earlier this year, so there's a lot of information about me and the robotic hand there as well. So I look forward to Maker Faire.
All right, thank you so much for sharing this really beautiful and inspiring project with us that I'm geeking out about, and I'm going to stop by your booth for sure. So thank you so much for being with us. All right, Burke, and I know we've got some amazing thing behind us that might or may not be in the shot already, but I'm so excited about it. What are you excited about, this giant thing behind us?
Well, I definitely would like to talk to Richard Carter, come out here and show us this wonderful contraption that you drove out here. Why don't you give us a rundown of the inspiration and what is it?
Okay, right behind us is a car called the Sushimi Tabernacle Choir. It's an old Volvo that we attached roughly 250 animatronic fish to, and we have them all computer controlled, and they sing and they dance and they perform.
Now, when you mean perform, you mean every single one of these dance in sync together and kind of form like a motion wave. Is that correct?
Yes, and you know, if we've got a song with different choral parts, we have different groups of the fish singing the different choral parts. We have two different soloists that are there to sing any solo parts that they're called for, and then on the front we have our conductor. Every orchestra needs a conductor.
So why don't you give us a little quick demo here? I'd love to hear how they sound.
Yeah, go up there and...
You are hearing now the Sushimi Tabernacle Choir, presented to you on an old Volvo. So how's the water out there? Doesn't seem to have much else to say about that. However, so good quick rundown of some of the control units you have back here.
Okay, this all starts with a netbook computer that runs the software. It's all custom software. It's running Linux and is all written in C. It sends a signal back through the USB cable to the trunk, where we've got some electronics that interprets the signal, fans it all out. We've got roughly 30 different channels that can be controlled, and that covers all the fish. When everything is moving at once, it's pulling roughly 200 amps.
And approximately how long did it take to build this?
Well, from conception to when we had to show it was 4 months, but about 20 of my friends were helping at that point. It certainly wouldn't have been possible without that.
Well, it's certainly always good to have lots of friends and many fish. I want to thank you so much for bringing this out here today. It's actually one of my favorite things to see at Maker Faire because it just gets everyone really, I mean, no one can walk by this car without feeling very cheerful from it. So I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming out for that. Awesome. Paloma, what do you think? Having this wonderful piece of motoring equipment.
Well, I'm just so excited to have it here. I mean, this is what Maker Faire is about. It's about something that is silly and ridiculous and fun and full of engineering and challenges that you have to come to create something magical and whimsical. Even if it necessarily doesn't have this like a practical application like that hand, they all come together in giving us something wonderful and amazing to have fun with. So I'm really excited to have it at Maker Faire New York. And you know what? I wanna see if we can talk to our next guest, who is awesome. This is Adam Mata, and he is creating some really cool stuff with sound. So let's go ahead and bring him on.
Let's bring out Adam. Now, Adam, you also have some musical joy for us today.
I have some musical joy, music, engineering, like you said. We're going to put some music sounds together and some vocal sounds and see what happens between human and machine. So check it out.
Do you think it would be better if you just give us a wonderful display of this?
I think it would be good, yeah.
All right, let's hear it. As you can see here, it looks like he's setting up a bicycle wheel. That was fantastic. Now, I don't really, I never thought of using a bicycle to wheel that. So why don't you give us a rundown of how this works?
So this is, I wanted to turn my bicycle into an instrument. I thought, I used to do tricks on my bike, and I wanted to have it make sound while I did that. And I thought about putting an audio tape loop around the wheel. I realized it might fall apart if I start to ride on it. So I remembered this old sculpture that Marcel Duchamp built in I think it was 18. He put a bike wheel in a stool. So I took his idea and I put audio tape around the edge of the rim. So if you look on the edge of the rim, there's audio tape from an old cassette tape. I'm not sure if people still remember what that is, but
I certainly do.
People before there was MP3s and iPods, you could listen to music on a Walkman. You just carried it around next to you, and you played a cassette tape in it. And this is how you walked around with your music with headphones. So I took the cassette tape, I took the tape out, and I put it on the rim. I took the playback head out of the Walkman and mounted it on the bottom. So when you move the wheel,
so by just moving the wheel back and forth, it's basically like scratching a record.
Yeah, exactly. This is the tape head down here, and it's reading the audio on the rim. I apologize for the feedback. There might be somebody's cell phone in the nearby vicinity.
It's probably one of us or something. But either way, absolutely fantastic, and it's really great to see someone take something like a bicycle wheel, repurpose it for something new, especially music. Have you built any other projects that are similar to this in this nature?
I've done another version of this, which is a zoetrope, which actually plays images. You can watch animation go around the wheel, and I've connected it to my laptop so that I can control playback video with the wheel also. when you spin the wheel, it moves the video back and forth, and you can scratch video just like I'm scratching audio.
That sounds like so much fun, and people can just walk up and just scratch along.
Yeah, exactly. I've shown it in a couple galleries, and people can approach the wheel, move the wheel, and play the video and interact with it themselves.
Wow, that is fantastic. I'd love to go see that. The next time you're at a gallery show, let me know. I'd love to check it out.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, well, Paloma, that's pretty great, right? I never expected that from a bike.
I mean, it's absolutely amazing to see stuff like this. We absolutely love music projects here on Maker Camp. They're so fun. I mean, we got to hang out with Reggie Watts this year, and he did some awesome live looping. So you campers know about live looping, so you understand how it can be kind of hard to capture and play stuff back. So we absolutely love being able to see more interesting ways to take a look on the same kind of a thing. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you. And I want to go back and talk with Nice Eye about what if you came to Maker Faire New York, what could you do at Nice Eye? So let's go ahead and bring back Nice Eye here. Thank you. Come on in. We want to talk with you about, so if these campers come to Nice Eye during Maker Faire, what can they be doing here on your grounds? What are some of the options that they have at Maker Faire?
Nice. We have a ton of different options for everybody. We have a whole section of making and breaking with our makerspace where you get to take things apart and make a new thing out of those objects. We have things for a wide variety of ages. We have mud makers. We also feature some of our long-term partner groups. So you could do parkour, or you could do underwater submersibles. And we also are featuring one of our great costume design projects that Peggy can tell you all about.
Yeah, let's hear about this beautiful thing in front of you.
Thank you. It was actually made by one of people who works in Design Lab, and what we're doing is giving kids an opportunity to make costumes like this out of crazy materials like cardboard or coffee filters or plastic tablecloth, and all kinds of lovely things, from full outfits on mannequins to smaller accent pieces like this glorious headpiece I have. We like things where kids do the making, and so the costume design gives us an opportunity to talk about 2D to 3D, pattern, curve, structure, form. It's a very rich topic, and it's kind of girly, which I like.
I love it. I love it. And if you campers come to the World Maker Faire New York and you get to do this, you have to stop by the Make Tent to show me what you're doing. Now, we've got some questions that we are coming in from you because there's so many wonderful campers that are coming in. So I want to just go ahead and fire these questions off at some of our amazing guests that we have today. So I want to ask you, what materials do you use to make your prosthetics?
So I think it really differs for different prosthetics. For this one in particular, this is 3D printed using a MakerBot replicator. And what I have here is servos, which sort of act to move the fingers. I have fishing line to simulate what would be the joints in the fingers. And then this connects to a glove that has flex sensors sewn onto it. And the whole system runs on the Arduino platform.
Wow, that looks so beautiful. And thank you so much, Amy, for that question. It's such a great one. And we also, Sullivan Squad wants to know, how long did it take you to build your hand?
So for this particular piece, I think it took me about 5 or 6 months. The first part was basically working to 3D print the actual components of the hand and putting that together. And then the rest of the time was spent with the wiring and the programming and fine-tuning some of the joints that make the hand work.
Beautiful. And what's it like to being able to build like anything that you can imagine? That's also coming from Ashley Sullivan.
It's incredible. I love building things, whether it's using a 3D printer or laser engraver. Just being able to draw something and then have that come to life is just an incredible feeling.
I want to extend this question to you as well, because I mean, this is something amazing to imagine. What's it like having this idea and being able to actually have it become a physical thing?
Well, let me think about that. It's absolutely great. No, the capabilities of building things these days are just so wonderful. It's very easy to work with small computers. They're very inexpensive. You have the ability to 3D print anything that you can imagine, things that would have been very hard to manufacture when I was younger. The sky is the limit on things like this. And if you want to make the world better, you can do it. If you want to make the world a little bit funnier place, you can do it. All you have to do is decide to do it and start.
That's such a great idea, and you know what, I want to extend this question to you, and then I'll go back to the kids. So what is it like to being able to actually have this idea that you had in your head and have it come to fruition, which is, I mean, the theme of Maker Faire is having an idea and making something. So how does that feel, and what does that mean to you?
It really is exciting when you have an idea. I was on the subway train, and the idea finally kind of crystallized in my mind, and I had this kind of eureka moment. And then it's really exciting to just go to the tool bench and put the project together, try it out, and see if it comes to life. And if it does, it's a really incredible feeling. I did study a little bit of engineering in school, and the one thing about engineering when you're experimenting, setup is about 75% of the process. You just got to get your tools and your skills down, and then let your imagination take you where you want to go. And it's a really incredible feeling to have your ideas come to life.
That's a beautiful sentiment, and as a maker I can totally relate to all of those things, that it's just so beautiful to have that actual thing come from you, and just this idea that just becomes something in front of you is really fun. So campers, go after your projects for sure. And I want to go to some of the people that we have on site. Do any of you have questions for our guests? Oh, we've got a question over here. Hello.
Hi, I'm Miss Stalvin Brackle. These are my makers. I'm a maker of makers, and we have to come to Maker Faire for homework. That's their homework assignment. And I wanted to ask the makers here, what would they recommend my kids ask them? Because they have to go around and ask. They're interviewing you guys. What would you want to hear from these kids?
Ooh, great question. Okay, I'm gonna run back over here. So if you didn't hear the question, they're wondering what kind of questions do you want to know? What kinds, when people come up to talk to you about your projects, what kind of things do you want them to ask you to find out more and to really engage with you at the fair?
Well, I really like people who seem to be interested in building their own kind of thing. So I love it when people tell me about some of their own projects or ask for tips about how to go about certain things in their projects. And a lot of people I know have especially asked me how they would go about building something similar, and I love to give advice or help people out, give people tips, because some of these people seem really so interested in building, and I love that.
Yeah, know that we're not scary people. You can come up and talk. So, and you?
It's pretty much the same. I really like it when people come up with alternative ideas or alternative ways of doing things, or ask why I did something one way versus another. Sometimes there's a good reason, and sometimes that's just the way it worked out. But it's always fun to talk about. That's how the process works.
Exactly. And you?
I like it when people ask, where I got the idea, what inspired me, and maybe we can connect over what inspires all of us. Where do we get our ideas from, and what gets us all excited? Is it bike riding? Is it cooking? Is it so, and just seeing where those ideas take each other, take each other. So.
Exactly. I totally relate with that. Campers, when you come to Maker Faire, this is open source. It's a place where you can talk and where you can really just engage with everyone around you. Everyone is so excited to share their project, to share their passion. So definitely come up and talk to everyone about what they're doing. And speaking of that, please come up and talk to me. I'm going to be at the Make Tent, which is literally right behind us. You can come see the counselors that you saw all summer. You can see the camp directors. I'll be there. Burke might be there, and Sam will definitely be there. So you should come and see us. I'll be doing costume makeup. There'll be projects that you saw during Maker Camp. So please come up and say hi and check out World Maker Faire New York. It is just so fun. Burke?
Yeah, come on out. We're here tomorrow and Sunday. It's going to be an absolute blast. Yeah, I'll be in Zone 2. I won't be over by the tent, but I'll be in Zone 2 with tiny electric cars. We should say goodbye to everyone out there. Why don't you send us off? Say, go making.
Go making.
All together, all together.
Go making!
Yes.